Quebec Precious Metals is a company that was created back in 2018 to find the next gold mine in the very promising James Bay region of Quebec. And what I'm going to do this morning is walk you through what we've been doing since the creation of the company and show you the potential that a company has to become the next finder of the next gold mine in the James Bay region of Quebec. Forward-looking statements. So the company has a highly prospective land package, which was assembled by merging two existing companies, plus the assets of a third company back in 2018. And this allowed to focus on its flagship project, the Sakami project, where we've been drilling since then. And yesterday, we've announced some very significant grades and drill hole intercepts, which I will share with you as well this morning. Our goal is to advance this project to the mineral resource estimate stage this year. And our goal is, as explorers, to then sell that project or the company to the highest possible bidder. We've been very successful with our discoveries since we created the company, and particularly the La Pointe extension, which will be discussed during this presentation. But also we've made a significant discovery called Lloyd on our Elmery's project in 2020. As part of the process of merging the company, we inherited a number of non-core assets. There were 7. We have monetized 5 of them to generate $1.5 million in cash, plus some shares. We have 2 more to go. That includes a rare earth project with a feasibility study and 50% interest in a gold project in Ontario. And those processes to monetize those 2 assets are underway. The company was created by the support at that time of Goldcorp, today Newmont. They have just under 13% of the shares of the company. They operate the Eleanor gold mine in Quebec, one of Quebec's largest gold mines, and they are located in the same district and are along strike where we are operating at Sakami. We have a very strong team and board, access to capital, and since we created a company, we have raised $16 million, including a recent raise of just over $3 million that we concluded in early May. You can see our stock price on the right. You can see that our market cap is just under 25 million. We just have about $5 million in cash, obviously no debt, 82 million shares outstanding, a number of options, broker warrants as well. Our largest shareholder, as I mentioned before, is Newmont with 13%. With that participation of Newmont, we also have a technical committee with them, a technical committee that meets every quarter to review results and to plan the next phase of work. Their input from that committee has been very helpful. They know the area. Of course, they're a leading gold miner in the world. They know a lot about exploration and mining. So it's been invaluable to have them as shareholder. We also have Quebec Institutions. Here in Quebec, we have a number of institutions that are very supportive of companies like us. That includes, in our case, Caisse de dépôt, Sidex. We also have Desjardins Capital and the Development Society of James Bay, and they're at 12% combined. Management and board of directors, 6%, just under 6%, and PE partners, which is spearheaded by our president, Jean-François Meilleur, at 3.7%. So those 4 categories of shareholders make up well above 30% of our shareholder base. The James Bay region is a region of Quebec which represents about 60% of the surface area of France. This is a territory where the Cree Nation is there, and we work closely with the Cree. It's critical. They are very supportive of development and mining activity as long as you are doing the right thing. We have developed a good relationship with them, both at the trapline owner level, but also with the local community and the band council. They are one of the greatest beneficiary of mining activity in the area, at the Eleanor mine in particular. And we want to grow the partnership that we have with the Crees. We participate in the cleanup of old abandoned exploration sites in the area through a fund that was created by the companies that operate in the area. And we're also at the end of a process to be certified of using the Eco Logo certification process, which is promoted by the Quebec Mineral Exploration Association. And we expect to be completed in that process within the next few weeks. On the left, you see the location of our flagship project, TSX.V, as well as other projects in the area that comprise our land package. You see as well the Eleanor mine, operated by Newmont, in the center of this map. You can also appreciate the infrastructure in the area. The area, and we'll see more about that shortly, is an area that has good roads and also power dams that were built by Hydro-Quebec in the 1970s. The Cree that have worked closely with Hydro-Quebec have signed 3 agreements with the government of Quebec. The last one was signed in 2020 to foster economic development. So you can work all year round in the area. You can drill all year in the area at a reasonable cost. And if you have road access, then you don't need to use helicopters very much. I want to last point out our Elmy East project, which will be discussed during this presentation this morning. It's just east of the Elmer discovery made by Azimuth, where we also made our own surface discovery in 2020. Our team is comprised of experienced professionals, management. Myself, I've been working in the industry for many years with PricewaterhouseCoopers in Canada internationally. In the last 15 years, been working with junior companies, largely in Quebec. Jean-François Meyer, our president, is an experienced financial professional with a lot of experience across project management, strategic marketing, and capital markets. Robert Boisjoli is our CFO with a lot of experience as an advisor, but also running companies in the mining sector and other also sectors of economic activities. Richard Niminen is our senior exploration manager with 30 years of experience. He has participated in 2 discoveries in Quebec. Etienne Gouin-Pro is our corporate development manager, which is helping us with a number of corporate development initiatives that we have. Independent board members that we have are John Hick, Mario Caron, Dominique Dion, and Charles Maine. We've also appointed 2 new board members on Monday, which are not shown on this slide. We have appointed Julie Robertson, and we also have appointed Paola Parsini to be our new board members, and we'll have that way more independence and more women on the board. Very experienced women that we've appointed. Jean-Sébastien Lavallée is a very important advisor. He's a former VP of exploration. Him and his father have known the area for over 20 years. They help us with all the field programs and execution of our exploration programs. The plan that we have in 2021 is as followed. We do field work. We had our winter campaign. We just drilled just over 2,000 meters in the winter. We released the results yesterday. We are back in the field to continue our drilling. We are planning to drill 14,000 meters minimum this year at TSX.V. We are fully funded to do that, to take the project to the resource estimate stage. And we also have other targets that we will test. We have started the meteorological testing on TSX.V, and you can expect results which so far from what we've seen are quite encouraging to be released later this year. Again, as mentioned, our goal is to have the project reach the mineral resource estimate stage. Our goal is 2 million ounces of resources. This is what you need to have a standalone mining operation or mining project in that part of the world. We continue, as I mentioned earlier, to monetize non-core assets, which include the rare earth project with the feasibility study, in which we have 68%, Investment Quebec, which is the Ministry of Economy, has 32%, and an interest in a gold project called Matheson Joint Venture in Ontario, where we have 50%. And we're also looking for other projects for acquisition in the area or places that we like in Quebec in particular. Abitibi is well known for gold mining, has had more than 100 years of exploration in mining. James Bay is like Abitibi 100 years ago. And the best way to show that is to compare drill holes from Abitibi, from government files, compared to drill holes that we have in James Bay. You can see a huge difference when you have those two maps compare at the same scale. So this is new territory, but again, good infrastructure. There's a large operating mine in the area. You have access to hydropower. You can work 12 months of the year, and you can also engage with the local Cree community to form partnerships and work well with them. Focusing on the area where we're working, I want to draw your attention here on this map to the thick purple line, which shows the contact between one geological province called Opinaka and another one called La Grande. And you find gold along that contact or close to that contact. You can see the mine, the Eleanor mine, is along that contact. And other showings and deposits that have been found are also following that contact. And we have our projects along that contact, including Sekemi, where we have 23 kilometers to that contact. Highlighted here are the key results that we've obtained from our work. And again, here you can see the infrastructure in the area. Looking at a Google Earth image of the area, I'm highlighting again the good access. The James Bay Road on the left, the white line is an actual paved road. We have a 47-kilometer access road from James Bay Road to our project in the area of La Pointe. And so we can, in the winter, transport all the supplies and equipment that we need to operate. The nearby communities are Wemingee, Chisasibi, and Radisson. The closest one is Wemingee. That's the one we're working with to form partnerships to continue exploring in James Bay. Focusing on the geology of Sekemi, our flagship project, we have here a map showing the mag signature of the rocks that underlay the area. You can see the contact that I've mentioned before between the Opinaka and La Grande geological sub-provinces. You can see the stars that shows all the good showings, including high-grade showings along that contact. There are also dotted lines that have been traced based on interpretation that we've done that outlines sub-parallel features, structures that are important to control the mineralization. And I'm going to focus now on the area outlined by the red rectangle, which is a La Pointe extension deposit that we have outlined. So looking at that area itself, we can see that we have a combination of volcano sedimentary rocks of the La Grande geological province and also sedimentary rocks of the Opinaka geological province. All of these rocks have been metamorphosed to amphibolite facies, recrystallized, and we have a mineralized trend that's oriented west to the west-southwest to east-northeast, where we have 3,500 meters of strike line. This is a discovery we've made in 2020. The lithology is a silicified parallelized, cut by intrusions and amphibolite. And the gold-bearing horizon, which is up to 100 meters thick from drilling, has also a small amount of arsenopyrite, pyrite, and peritite, and also some quartz carbonate veinlets. The way we find gold is pretty straightforward. We have done soil geochemistry, which I've outlined high values in gold and arsenic. We've done induced polarization surveys, which shows highs that coincide with the soil anomalies. And then, of course, we've done surface prospecting and drilling on the targets that have been identified by the soil geochemistry and by the IP surveys and the surface prospecting work. And based on that, we've outlined these area called La Pointe deposit and La Pointe extension deposit. On the slide here, you can see that we have a strike length at La Pointe of 950 meters and La Pointe extension up to 3,750 meters based on the work we've done so far. Looking at a 3D representation of the deposit that we have, this is shown using grade time thickness from drilling, and the pink purple colors shows the highest values. What you see also here that it is open in all directions and at depth. The recent drilling that we concluded this winter showed that the depth extension is quite significant. We're looking initially at an open pit situation, but the recent results may indicate that we can have important underground potential. Where we're drilling for the rest of the year is shown in the polygons, or 3 polygons, 1 to the west at La Pointe and 2 to the northeast and southwest at La Pointe extension. This is going to be the focus of our drilling that will take place this summer and continue during the fall. Looking at La Pointe deposit itself, on the left, you can see some of the key drill hole intersections that have been done, that have been generated, 132 holes, over 40,000 meters drill, again, open at depth and to the west. There's a structure that separates, best we can tell, what we have drilled to the east and where we started to drill to the west. But based on what we have encountered so far, we believe it will extend to the west of the known La Pointe deposit. Looking at La Pointe extension discovery, we have along strike, again, the areas that have been identified to extend the known mineralization. And you can see the connection with the La Pointe deposit to the northeast. So combined, we have over 5 kilometers of strike length, and there's ample room there to define the 2+ million ounces of resources minimum that we're looking for. Looking at the La Pointe extension discovery again, and the recent result that I've highlighted, in particular, recent drilling shown in the purple-red contour outlines that you have. We have 35 holes drilled only, over just 8,000 meters. It's open in all directions. So all that is very exciting, and we look very much forward to get the next batch of drill results to show better the potential of this whole area. I'm going to switch now to the Elmer East project that we had before Azimut announced its discovery in early 2020. We've conducted since then some additional claim staking, and then we ran a airborne mag survey. We worked with Gold Spot Discoveries to carry out a detailed targeting study, compile all the information. We went to the field and we came up with a brand new discovery called Lloyd, which was named in the honor of the trapline owner in the area. His name is Lloyd Mayapo. And on surface, we came up with some very high values, up to 18 grams per ton gold, but also base metal value. This is what it looks like in the field. This is the area where we have obtained those high values, but also we've obtained significant values for silver, copper, zinc, and lead. So we're planning to go back there later this year to follow up what we have found. And we have found values also in the channel sampling that was done last year. And it's open in all directions. So the work this year is to do mapping, trenching, probably also some geophysics to extend this mineralized zone with a view to drill it. I've talked about the Kipawa project that is for sale earlier. This was a project where a feasibility study was completed in 2013. A lot of drilling was done, metallurgical testing was done, and we believe the monetization of that could lead to a significant treasury influx, possibly in the order of $8 to $10 million for the company, which will fund our exploration activities. So why invest in Quebec precious metals? Well, we have timely exploration and drill results from our flagship Sakami project, and that is advancing rapidly to the mineral resource estimation stage. We have this significant potential for additional discoveries on our large land package. We have good shareholders, a strategic investor in the form of Newmont, but also Quebec Institutions. We have proven successes made by our team, a very strong board. We have money to fund our activities. So I thank you for your time this morning and be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much, Normand. We actually have quite a number of questions that have come in through your presentation, so we'll get right at it. Let's move over to our first question here. And the question comes, how was the relationship with the principal shareholders, including Newmont and other Quebec institutions?
So, Newmont, I've mentioned we have a technical committee with them. And we have a investor right agreement with them. And they also have the right to match any financing that we do. And if we create a royalty with a project, they have also the right to first refusal to buy that royalty that will be created. Mm-hmm. The relationship is excellent. They have highly qualified gold explorationists on the committee, including people that work at the mine and people that oversee exploration here in Canada and internationally. Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned, we've worked with them closely since the start. They are instrumental in creating the company. It was Goldcorp, now today Newmont. Mm-hmm. So we're extremely fortunate to have such a strong shareholder with great expertise in gold and keen to have us find the next gold mine in Quebec.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Let's talk about the region that you're operating in. What are the key advantages, Normand, to exploration in James Bay?
Well, I'm just going to finish about the Quebec Institutions on the question. Okay. So Quebec Institutions, we have our second largest shareholders, the Caisse de dépôt, is Quebec's largest pension fund, one of the top two in Canada. Mm-hmm. They also were instrumental in creating the company. They've been very supportive, including our last financing where they have participated. They are supporting all their partners, all the companies that have funded. They have money expertise in the house as well to be provided. So great group. SIDEX is a fund which is composed of the Solidarity Fund FTQ plus the government of Quebec to support diversification of exploration. And they're very keen on the James Bay area. They have had a special fund this winter that was available to support drilling in the area. And they selected one of the few companies that was selected to be funded. The Development Society of James Bay was created when the James Bay region was developed by Hydro-Quebec. They're supportive of companies that are working in the area, and we're happy to have them as shareholder. And Desjardins Capital, of course, is a Quebec bank, also that help companies like us. Relationship is excellent. We keep them abreast of what we're doing, and it's only one of the key advantages of working in Quebec to have those institutions support companies like us.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And je m'excuse. Back to the other question, which was, what are the key advantages to exploration in James Bay as a region?
Well, I've mentioned infrastructure, although some may consider it as a remote region. It is a region where you can operate 12 months of the year. Our average drilling cost currently is around $250 a meter, all included. So it is competitive. You have a Cree Nation that is supportive as long as you do the right thing and work in partnership with them. And very importantly, it is very much underexplored. This is the new ABTB of Quebec. This is where the next generation of gold mines will be found. So gold is still being found at surface and in significant quantities, and high-grade values are still being found. So that makes it very attractive for gold exploration.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. You mentioned the Cree Nation. That takes us to the next question, Armand, which is, how does the company intend to develop partnerships with the Cree First Nation, and what kind of agreements do you have currently going forward?
So we're at a very early stage. We don't have formal agreements. What we've done so far is have their service company called Tawish help us with snow removal. We want to have them now engage with drilling and hopefully helping also with what we do with our camp facilities. Our goal, and it was not possible during COVID, was to have our annual meeting actually at Wimingee, one of the Cree communities, the closest one distance-wise where we operate, so they better understand who we are and what we do, and eventually have them as shareholders. So this is how we see the evolution of the partnership, and it certainly is one of the key priorities for the company this year.
Terrific. Thank you for that. We have a question here asking, do you expect to reach your targeted resource near term at Sakami?
The short answer is yes, in 2021.
21. Okay, thank you for that. Let's move over to results here. Earl is asking, the results this week for Quebec Precious Metals put out were fantastic. Are you working on an updated resource, and are there more drilling results to come out?
Well, with the drilling, second phase of drilling will take place this summer, so you should expect results in early fall, September, October from that. And on the basis of that, then we'll update our 3D model and decide when and how we actually disclose this resource estimate.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move back to the Sakami questions again. Does the grade at Sakami improve with depth as you go?
At La Pointe, there's no clear indication of that, but at La Pointe extension, it looks like it's getting bigger and better every time we drill. So that's very exciting. This is where the focus of the drilling is and will be, especially on the basis of the recent results. It looks like it's getting better and better at depth and along strike. So that's very exciting.
Okay, good to hear that. Thank you very much. And another question, how much is likely to be generated from the monetization of non-core assets, Armand?
So I mentioned at the end of the presentation, for Kipawa, it's possible that we generate from $8 to $10 million of monetization cash and or shares. From the Matheson joint venture project, probably around $500,000 in cash.
Okay, thank you for that. Looking ahead at the remainder of 2021, are you fully funded to execute your exploration program for the remainder of the year?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
And also I'll mention that our last financing was hard cash, and in Quebec, in that part of Quebec, for every dollar that you spent, you get 37.5 cents back in form of a cash rebate from the Quebec government. So you basically you can do more exploration with every single dollars that you raise.
Great to hear that too. We've heard great things from other organizations as well about working in the jurisdiction of Quebec. Can you share some of the top advantages from your perspective of the jurisdiction? So
Quebec is well ranked for a number of reasons. First of all, it has good geological potential. It is a large territory. The northern Quebec is still relatively poorly explored, including James Bay. Two, you have also some significant tax advantages or fiscal incentive. I've mentioned one for using hard cash to fund exploration, but also we have obviously in Quebec this flow-through share regimes. Quebec flow-through share regime is very attractive. So that makes it good for investment. We also have a good database that's available publicly for companies that want to explore and develop projects. We have qualified workforce, good infrastructure, and overall a government that's supportive of new mining projects as long as they're done responsibly. And especially with the presence of Quebec institutions, that makes it very attractive compared to other jurisdictions.
Okay, thank you, Roman. Some of our guests are sharing a bit about behind the scenes with the company structure and management. And as Pierre Lassonde mentioned yesterday for his criteria for investing, people and management are number one out of the top three in his opinion. Can you share a little bit about the beauty and advantage of your team at the company?
So we're all experienced mining industry professional. I'll start with the board. I mean, John Hick has been running companies, been involved in gold exploration, including Quebec, for over 40 years. Charles Main was a former CFO at Yamana. Dominique Dion was the former chair of the Quebec Mining Association and spent a lot of her careers with Noranda and Extrata. Mario Caron, very experienced mining engineer, has worked in Quebec internationally, very familiar with gold exploration. Then we've appointed two women recently. We have very strong financial background and mining background. One of them, Paola Farsini, has been working at Domtar for many years. She's a senior mining professional there and knows Quebec, but also sits on the board of a company called Falco that operates in Quebec, developing a project. Yes. And Julie Robertson spent many years with the Barrick, a strong financial person, and also has a lot of experience with capital projects. On our team, we have a mine finder, a couple of mine finders. Jean-Sébastien Lavallée was involved in the discovery of a lithium project, and he's focusing on that. He's an advisor, former VP of exploration, but still a very important person in the company. We have also Richard Niminen, has been part of two discoveries in Quebec, a very experienced geologist. Robert Boisjoli, our CFO, has done a lot of work with junior mining companies, but also is involved in the management of another company. So a strong operating experience. Jean-François Meilleur knows capital markets very well. I've done that for many years. And myself, I've spent all my career in mining with PricewaterhouseCoopers in Canada and internationally, seen a lot of things, been involved in junior mining in Quebec. I've been involved in advising companies and working with companies that have been part of discoveries. So, and we have a young guy, also Etienne Goinprou, I should not forget, that has got lots of experience already in reviewing companies and advising companies, and also is providing us a bit of fresh air, bringing us some new ideas on how we can better market the companies. So that's our team.
Beautiful. Thank you, Armand. And under your direction, of course, with a team like that, the curiosity comes forward, which is, where do you see the company in the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
Well, our goal as explorers is really to add the most value that we can to our projects and pursue a secondary project and sell that project. That's how, as Pierre Lassonde would say, you create the most value, is when you identify a resource and when a developer in mind comes and buy it. So our job is to get that transaction done at the highest possible price for the benefit of our shareholders.
Thank you for that. And an inevitable question sometimes comes forward with our guests and our participants, and we're being asked, once you reach your 2 million ounce resource goal, what are your plans? Would it be to develop on your own, to sell, to partner?
To sell.
Pardon me?
To sell.
Okay.
To sell.
Okay.
Virginia did the same thing when they found Eleanor back in 2005. It was sold to Goldcorp for $500 million. And if you look at the back of our corporate presentation, that's exactly what we want to do.
Okay.
So, and we will choose the timing of when we disclose our resource estimate. We don't have to, but we want to make sure it's a robust resource estimate that will command an attractive price.
Okay, thank you for that, Armand. And if we were to take a 1-year period, could you share from your perspective a couple of key turning points or highlights to watch for as we see the company move forward? Are there key dates, key highlights that you see coming forward the next year?
Well, yesterday was quite key with the release of our winter results, and next key result will be the completion of our summer program and results from there. We should not forget also the monetization of our non-core assets, especially Kipawa.
Very good, thank you. And Armand, at this point, I'd like to open the door and ask if there's anything else that you'd like to share, or any topics we haven't touched on for our audience today.
Well, I think we've assembled a very strong team, a very focused team on creating lots of values from our project in James Bay. And I think we've delivered on what we were planning to do when we created this company back in 2018. And we have a very strong shareholder base that is behind us to do this.
Wonderful. Normand, I will say thank you very much for your open share today. I know our participants are always grateful to hear from the inside the company. And I will say bonne journée. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a pleasure.